Have you ever wanted to take your 5-year-old and 12-year-old?
Yeah, not really.
Okay, Steve, I have a question for you. Imagine, if you will, really super busy street full of vacationers and partiers and gamblers and smokers and sexy women in barely covering the bits clothing, restaurants, strip club. Just like what do you think of?
Well, let me word it to you differently. What happens in stays in.
Right? So when you hear that, okay, by the way, great ad campaign. That when they did that, phenomenal, because everybody knows it, everybody thinks it, everybody believes it. And I don't know who you are in the world. If you've ever heard of Vegas, you believe that. You're like, oh yeah, whatever happens, because there's some debauchery that's happened in Vegas.
Yeah, and the interesting thing, just as a sidebar, that's never actually been their official slogan. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. It's what happens here stays here. What happens here only happens here is a couple of variations of it, which is cool.
But it goes to show that the consumer makes up what the brand is.
Yes.
The brand lives in the mind of the consumer.
Right.
Okay, this is something you say this all the time, and I love, and I've now reiterated. So let me ask you a question. This is the question I really want to ask you. So you imagine all these debauchery type things, and we know they happen in Vegas because we were just there last year. We're going to be there again soon. Have you ever wanted to take your 5-year-old and 12-year-old?
Yeah, not really.
Right? Like, if you've ever gone to Fairmont Street, you're just not taking them there. So you said, and I was shocked because I actually don't remember this at all, that they tried to sell Vegas as family friendly. Talk to me about that.
They did. So first of all, let's go back to the early days of Vegas. The early days of Vegas was Rat Pack showgirls, right? Early Vegas that's how it was presented.
Gangsters.
Rat Pack, showgirls, gangsters, right?
Yes.
And then what ended up happening in the 80s and 90s, we started getting public money and things like that, and you started getting theme resorts, entertainment diversification, and you started getting the Mirage and all these really, really big, glamorous resorts. And somewhere along the lines, basically in the 1990s, they said, you know what? Because we've got these resorts and there's all these events and all this other stuff, this would be a great place for kids. So they actually launched a whole campaign towards family friendly. And MGM Grand Adventures was a theme park that was specifically built to serve families. It didn't work. It like the Grand Adventures, basically was around from 93 to 2000. All American Sports Park, 97 to 2001, shut down, repurposed to other things. And then in 2003, they pivoted back to what happens here stays here.
And this is what I was trying to say, that that's a great slogan because it lives in the mind of the consumer, right? It's a great way to think about Vegas, because people are already thinking that about Vegas because everybody has made a mistake in Vegas. I'm not giving up secrets here about myself.
Right.
But the idea here is that's the truth. They're going against, what they did is they started going against the brain of the consumer.
Yeah.
So what happened? There's got to have been down.
So the 1940s to 50s was kind of the whole glamour thing. The 60s and 70s, they really leaned into it being the entertainment capital of the world because they did that type of advertising. Entertainment capital of the world. 70s and 80s, they got talking about it being an adult playground. And then the 90s was the family friendly, and then they pivoted back. What happens? Vegas stays in Vegas. And now they've actually gone back even to a really older slogan. So now they're retroing, welcome to fabulous Las Vegas, which is actually a 1940 slogan that they're bringing back, which is kind of cool.
But I think that one will work.
Sure, because it fits all those themes. Now, why they do it? I don't know. It's always crazy to wonder about these things. And it's the whole classic. Sometimes what happens is you look at it and go, on the surface, look, if you wrote down all the things you could do in Walt Disney World and you wrote down all the things you could do in Vegas, you could actually draw pretty good parallels.
Yeah, sure you could.
And you could sit there and go, could a kid have fun in Vegas? Absolutely. Oh my God, we don't have families coming to Vegas. Let's appeal to families. let's attract this new group we don't have.
Yes.
Now, here was the problem. First of all, they didn't end up attracting more families. They really didn't. Marginally more. But they did not attract more families. And gambling revenues went down.
Because I don't want to go hang out with my buddies for a bachelor party and then look like an idiot walking down the street bumping into kids. I don't.
It's one of those things where the brand promise of a Vegas is adult entertainment.
Yes.
That's the brand promise.
And that's
it's really hard to change. And if you did want to change that, if you said, look, we're going to have to change this, that's a 30-year commitment. That's a long time. You're going to have to really work hard at it. And the thing is, the new people are going to be slow to gain. The existing people you're going to lose almost immediately.
Yes.
Right, which is essentially what they experienced. It's some of these pivots, and again, I think, and we don't know. I wasn't able to find anything that talked about why they did this pivot. Probably they're so embarrassed they've, some gangsters taken it out back and shot them and buried them.
Where were some cement shoes worn somewhere? Yeah.
But I'm going to guess it's from looking at it from an intellectual, technical standpoint. This should be great for kids. And look, I know people who take their kids there, and they probably looked around and said, "Oh, there's people who bring their kids here. We should advertise for that."
Yeah.
But it broke the allure of Vegas.
Well, and it's so interesting to me because it's one of those things where if they hadn't built the theme park there and advertised the theme park, but didn't try to talk about Vegas as being family friendly, but just built a theme park, I think it would have worked better for them. And they just had that thing there, like that family friendly resort, but only advertised the resort.
Right.
As opposed to advertising as Vegas is now family friendly. It would have worked better for them because you're not advertising Vegas, you're advertising the resort.
Right. I had not thought about it. I had not thought about it that way. It was just one of those things.
Well, wait a second. You did. I'm going to argue. No, you. No. Cut that out. Dylan, I did not say. You know what? Don't cut it out. Bleep it out. But didn't say that. No. You know what? I argue that you brought this topic up to me, and I'm going to argue. No, because you said that we talked about what they're doing now to bring people gambling revenue, right? They brought in a hockey team. They brought
so what they did, so what they have done is they've diversified away from gambling revenue. Gambling revenue as a percentage of Vegas is down, no question. Now, one could argue online gambling and a bunch of other things is impacting that as well. But yes, they've diversified away. They've got F1. They've got the hockey team. They've got the Blue Man Group. They've got they have really
in there.
Like, I don't gamble at all. I don't even do the $5 in the slot. I find gamble boring. I hate it. And I will go to Vegas because you know what? Cirque du Soleil. You go see, an amazing freaking show. You go check out F1, which we did last year.
That's right.
Like there is a ton of great. Like, you want to go and do a whole pile of shows, like you go to New York and you do Broadway, or you go to Vegas and see all the other stuff.
Right. But this is the stuff that you said to me, and I'm just saying, if they had have just because they don't talk about F1 as being, a Vegas thing. It's F1. It's awesome. Come watch F1. We just happen to be in Vegas. Hey, listen, we've got, come check out the Knights. The Golden Knights are fantastic. What a great hockey team. We've got a good facility. Boom. They're talking about they're selling themselves, and it's bringing people to Vegas.
Right.
So if they had have just said, hey, listen, you want to bring more people to Vegas? Yeah, then if you build it, they will come. There's that whole, that philosophy, right? If you put something there and it's awesome and it's remarkable, people will show up. That's my belief.
And even when they pivoted away from the family-friendly stuff, even their first tagline was not great. Their first tagline was, there's more to do in Vegas than gamble. The entertainment capital of the world is better, and what happens here stays here is even better.
Dude, but here's the thing. Telling people how to feel versus allowing them to feel it. I mean, that's like, we talk about this all the time. Make people feel something, right?
Yes.
And so there is a feeling of, I can get away with stuff if I go to Vegas, right? What happens here stays here. I'm going to get away with this.
Right.
Okay. This was fun, guys. And listen, we're not picking on Vegas because we said we love Vegas and everything else. But like, if you want to create a story that's sticky, if you really truly want to make sure that it fits with the real marketing strategy, then know what the marketing strategy is that's gotten people there first.
Right. Choose who you're going to lose. So let's compare Disney and Vegas.
Yeah.
So Disney, it chooses to lose adult entertainment. Yes, there's adult entertainment, but not like basically Disney, it's all, you go to a Disney theme park, it is all family friendly. All of it. Everything.
Can I add to that too? But what it is that you're a kid at heart.
Right. You're a kid at heart. Yes. So Disney has chosen what to lose. Vegas is now chosen what to lose.
Yes.
And that is family friendly.
That's right. Exactly. They're there now.
They're there now. Well, they were there and they got away from it and they've come back to it.
Exactly.
But the point is they're both super successful.
Yes.
And look, here's the crazy thing. I've gone to Vegas. I've gone to Disney. I even have gone to Vegas the years I gone to Disney. Right? It's not like they lost me as a consumer.
No.
They serve two different things.
Exactly. And you can't be all things to everybody, guys.
Correct.
You cannot be all things to everybody. There's no better.
As soon as you do that, that's when you lose.
You lose, and you lose. Unfortunately, you even lose both sides, and that's what happened in Vegas. You lose both sides. Okay. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it, guys. I'm shouting this out. Like, Steven's written another book, and you should know about it, right? 5-Star Bullets. He wrote it with his partner Gary Bernier. I'll put a link to that in the comments. Thank you for constantly putting content into the world to help marketing get better and help businesses be better. You're brilliant, and I love you for it.
Thanks, man. Thanks for the plug on the book. Appreciate that.
Not a problem. Guys, we'll be back in a week.